everybody. My name is Sarah, and we're going to do some Vinyasa flow, so welcome. Uh, let's start off today. You know what? Let's start off seated. So just seated, cross-legged, or hips on heels if that's more comfortable for you. Just let your hands rest on your knees or your lap and close down your eyes. We'll just start the practice with a check-in. So checking into your inner environment and just letting your eyes close down so that you spend less attention in your outer environment. Come inside and feel your bones. And if you come to notice your spine, the central nervous system, and just bring your attention there and just feel this anchoring in. And then as you breathe, just notice the movement of your ribs, the movement of your chest, and maybe even your belly. All right, so we're going to draw a big breath of air in through your nose and fill up your lungs and your chest, your belly. And then you're going to hold your breath. So filling up is big. Maybe you have space to take in another partial breath in and hold it. Through your mouth, you're going to release it with a ha all the way out. Let's do that again. Breathe in, big breath, fill up your chest, your belly. When you have that breath in, lift your chest up and sit up even more tall. Drop your chin, hold your breath, hold it in. Now take your navel, glue it to your spine, hold in the breath. With a saw, exhale it out. All of it out, out, out. Now breathe in one last time, filling up your whole body fills with air. Filling, 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 and hold it in. Navel to spine. Squeezing, pelvic floor lifts, holding and squeezing from the inside. And a big release. All the air out. Inhale, your eyes can open. You can reach your arms up, sweep your arms up to the sky. Look up. And when you exhale, turn to the right. Right hand behind you, left hand on your knee. And then inhale, come back up to center and over to the left. And just nice gentle movement here for your spine. So inhale up and exhale to turn. And as you do this, just ensure that you are sitting up nice and tall. Spines, bones of your spine stacked. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Now you can increase the speed if you want. We encourage the inhales and exhales to happen through your nose for the entire practice, from the beginning to the end. We'll do one more on each side. And then inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, let your chin drop and take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Another idea for creating and manifesting eventually your positive thoughts or intentions would be to focus on something that makes you feel good, something that is nurturing for you. And in your mind, just allow it to expand and to grow. And you can just plant those seeds at the beginning of your practice. And then we'll seal that in with one long, deep Om. So take a full breath in. And then arrive on your mat in a tabletop position, and we'll just go right into movement of the spine. So when you inhale, you can lift your chest up and lift your sits bones to the sky, and then when you exhale, tuck in and under around your spine. Drop your head and just keep doing that. Forward and back. Now your movement, you might feel more inclined to do circular movements. You can do that too if you want to. Movement to breath. Just allow your body to flow and move. An inhale to lift and look up. And then an exhale to lean back. Let your hands reach forward as far as they will go. And as you inhale, come forward onto knees and hands. Spine is straight. Exhale with elbows brushing your rib cage lower halfway without your belly touching the ground. Inhale to push yourself up, and then exhale to pull it back. And we're just going to move that way. So inhale forward. Imagine like a tether is pulling your heart forward as you lower, and then inhale to push up, and exhale to pull back. And so you lower halfway without letting your chest and belly touch the ground, and then you inhale and push yourself straight up. As you do this, you might find that it's a bit difficult to push yourself up with a lot of integrity. And if that's the case, just go down a little bit. You don't have to go all the way to a 90 degree at your elbow. And if you're feeling really strong, you can do this from a full push-up position. So with elbows brushing your ribs. And now the other little trick here is that when your hands cup the floor, when you're in a push-up going from a low to high or a high to low, it means that your shoulders are lifting up around your ears. So keep your hands flat. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to do 3 more. Last one. Now, bend your elbows and press yourself into cobra. So elbows are bent, chest is lifted. Let yourself come to a point where you play with pushing weight on your hands, letting yourself come down. Pushing weight on your hands, letting yourself come down. And then as you do this, just become really aware of allowing your shoulder blades to kind of melt down your back. A little bit of pressure, and then lowering. And then the other thing you can start to play with here too is lifting up the feet. And so we're just going to sort of pulse away from the ground. Let your hands lift, and you can start off with your elbows bent. Now if you want to go a little bit further, you can lift your arms straight out in front of you. Just make sure that you're matching your movement to your breath. Let your hands lift, at least no pressure on your hands. We'll do 5 more lifts. Last one, lift up, and then place your hands underneath of your shoulders. Straighten out your legs, lift your knees off the ground, and push yourself into a high plank, and then pull back into a downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to your hands, take many steps. Arrive at the top of your mat with your feet apart. Bend your knees a lot, lift your chest, and then fold as you press your heels down. Grab your elbows. You can sway side to side. Release your head. Slowing down your breath. A gentle sway and opening of the back body. 2 more breaths. Pressing into all 4 corners of the feet. Let yourself come all the way up with a rounded spine, uncurling. So chin into chest, all the way up to stand. And the shoulders relax down. You can keep your feet apart if you prefer that. Otherwise, my preference is feet together. And we'll bring your arms up over your head. Interlock the fingers. Release index finger, thumbs crossed. Stretch up to the sky and up and over to the right. And then inhale up and over to the left. Back to center, over to the right, and you're going to stay there. Now there's progression here, so you don't want to go right to your full edge. You want to navigate bit by bit, piece by piece. Keep your chin up, right shoulder forward, left hip a little bit back. Stretch up and over. And now release the right hand down to your side, the side of your leg. And take your chin and lift it up past your inner arm, left arm. And deepen the stretch, if it's there. Hips further to the left. Stay here for 3. Hips to the left for 2. And then 1. Come up. Stretch both of your arms up to the sky. And when you exhale, hinge forward to fold. Take an inhale, a halfway lift of your chest. And then exhale, right foot, you're going to step it back and drop your knee to the ground. Take both your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, bend your elbows into cactus arms, relaxing the shoulders down, letting your head drop if it's available. But keeping your front line, front body really strong, holding you here. Press into your back foot. And then bring your hands together in prayer and straighten out your spine. So lifting your head upright. And as you exhale, turn to the left and drop your elbow to the knee twist. Just a little twist here. You can let your chin lift, look up. And you can even lift your back knee off the ground and twist. Navel to spine. You're going to lift all the way up into a crescent lunge. So your arms come up. Let your hands go wide and your chest be broad. Take a full breath in. And exhale, hands come to the floor. Step back for high plank. And then as you exhale, you can lower all the way or halfway to the ground. And inhale to go into a cobra or an upward dog. So if your thighs touch the ground, bend your elbows. And then an exhale to downward facing dog. A full breath in. Exhale, step walk or hop to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold. Rise up. Reach your arms up to the sky, beyond. Reach, reach, reach. And then clasp your fingers. Release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Feet together apart, same as the other side. Reach up and go over to the left. Up and over to the left side as you stretch. Beyond, past the left side, and just keep your left shoulder a bit forward and left hip a little bit back. Your chin stays lifted. And absolutely your breath stays moving here. Strong legs. You can drop your left hand outside of your leg and then start to gaze up past your right arm. Reaching and breathing. Right shoulder, right arm back behind you a little. And then stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1. Reach up to the sky, coming into a neutral position. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Inhale to halfway lift, a lengthening of your spine. And then stepping left foot back. And your knee comes down to the floor. Inhale, arms come up. Bend at your elbows on your exhale and let your shoulders soften. A chance to expand and open your heart, looking up. Take your arms back out of your peripheral vision and press into your back foot. Keep the front body really strong as you look up or back. Stay here and breathe for 2 more breaths. Inhale, neutral position. Reach up, neutralize your spine tall, and gather your hands to your heart. Turn to the right and drop your elbow to your knee. Twist. Moving into the twist as far as you wish. Letting your gaze move up. Take a full breath. And then neutralize your position. So looking forward. Chest forward, arms up. Straighten out your back leg. Full crescent lunge, strong and mighty. Look up. Exhale, hands come to the earth and step back for plank, lower halfway, chaturanga. An upward dog or a cobra. Downward facing dog. Lift up your right leg to the sky and step it forward for crescent lunge. Arms come up. Warrior 2. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right hand back. And a side long angle, right elbow to knee as your left hand extends. Look up. Stay here for 3. Breathe for 2. And on the inhale, reverse your warrior again. So left hand to left leg. Reach up and over. And then exhale, windmill the hands down to the floor. Lift your back heel and step it back. Now, right leg over top of left leg as you chaturanga. Upward facing dog and a downward dog. Right leg, sweep it up to the sky. Take a full breath in, extend tall, and then exhale, knee to nose first. Step it forward, crescent lunge, arms come up. Take your arms out to the side and left arm is going to come underneath, cross twist high your arms. Either holding your right thumb or your hands in prayer. On the inhale, left leg up and over, top of your right leg. Your elbows are as high as your shoulders as you press your pinky fingers forward. Eagle. And just breathe as you hold this position. Every time you exhale, squeeze your organs from the inside out, navel to spine. Every time you inhale, you soften your belly. First, unravel your arms, and next, left leg, sweep it back behind you for airplane pose. As you airplane, you can play a little bit with like lifting and lowering the left hip. Lifting and lowering. Just let your arms be wide out to the sides. And you can bend your right knee, hover a little lower. And then you're going to take your left hand to the floor and your right hand to your right hip. You can have a block handy if the floor is too far away. You can even grab your water bottle. Now press through the back left heel and straighten your left leg. Your right knee can be a little bit bent. Turn and look to the right. And only if it's easy, lift your right arm up. If it doesn't feel easy, just keep your hand on your hip. Stay here for 3. Breathe for 2. And then look down and drop your back foot to the ground and your knee will touch down. All right, right hand can stay on your knee or grab a hold of your block. Put it to the right side of you. And sweep your left arm over. Now, if you want to increase this intensity, you can start to play a little with the left knee coming off the ground. And then you can play with your hips in this movement too. So, opening through the side. And then dropping the hip. Okay, next thing is you can release the right hand and move your hip. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1, hands come down. Drop your left knee. Extend your right leg back. So this is a side plank variation. If you'd like to make it a little bigger, put your right foot on the ground and extend your left leg out. You want to turn it into a stretch. Put your left ankle above your right knee and stretch. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And 1, a downward facing dog. Come forward to high plank and lower halfway chaturanga. Upward dog. And a downward dog. Take your left leg up to the sky and big step forward, crescent lunge. Arms come up. Warrior 2, open up to the side long edge of your mat. Inhale, reverse your warrior. So left reaches up, right hand on your leg. Take a breath. And then forward onto this left elbow as your right arm extends over your head. Side long angle. Press into the right foot firmly. Finish the exhale fully. Inhale to reverse this warrior, so reaching up and back. And then windmill, so the left hand and right hand down. Lift your back heel and step back to plank. Left leg over top of right and lower halfway. Upward facing dog and a downward dog. Left leg comes up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose first. And then step forward. Crescent lunge, arms come up. All right, arms to the side, right arm under, cross twist high, your arms together. Lift your elbows up. Next inhale, right leg comes up and over top of your left. Keep your elbows as high as your shoulders and breathe. Knees to the right, elbows to the left, just a pinch. Take your shoulders back over top of hips. Get into it, maybe a little bit deeper. Ego focus with a smile. Unravel your arms first, then goes the right leg behind you and you fly. airplane in flight. Connect with the base of the right foot and the center of your heel. Press it back. Bend your left knee a little bit, and then just play with the movement of your hip, which sort of determines the movement also of your shoulders and your arms. Breathing as you do that. Start to bend your left knee, coming down even lower so that you can step back, dropping the back knee to the ground. No, I forgot something. So actually grab your block, bring it forward, and put your block underneath your right shoulder. All right, left hand on your hip. Press through the right heel and start to turn to look to the left. Again, only if it's easy, lift up your left arm. Straight right leg as much as it'll go. Lift your right heel up and look to the left. You can do it. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. Good. Look down first, and now the foot goes back. Behind you, drop your knee. This block can come to the left hand, beside your hip, right arm up and over. So I really like to constantly think about opening my chest, relaxing my shoulders. So if you turn so that your shoulder blade drops, your thumb is probably pointing forward or out. Try that as you focus on relaxing this left shoulder. And then if you want a bit more, you lift your back knee. And then you can work on this hip movement. And you just play with your arms. Just feel the pose. It's not really like anything specific. Just some movement. And then left hand extends out. And stay here for 3. Breathe. For 2. And 1. Bring your hands in front. Step back for plank and lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, a downward dog. Exhale. We're going to do one more inhale. Exhale fully all the way out. Bend your knees, look forward. Hop step. Walk forward, halfway lift to lengthen your spine. And then fold as you exhale. Reach up all the way. Stretch up. And gather your hands to your heart. Samastiti. All right. Right leg is going to extend first in front and then behind. And your upper body is just going to sort of like pendulum. So when the foot comes forward with as straight as the leg as possible, see how high you can lift the foot. Keep your hands in prayer, pressing together firmly. Keep your spine straight. Oh, I think I forgot to do something on one side. We'll get to it. Okay, one more. Forward and back. Okay, lift your chest up, bend your right knee, and with your left hand, grab a hold of your foot. Okay? Start off with the foot close to the hip, right hand up. And then you can start to kick up and back. You can hinge forward as you do that. Let your right knee drop down. Bend your left knee as you need to. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. Without dropping the foot, you're going to come into a center position, heel close to the hip. Change your hands. So right hand holds right foot. Left hand reaches up. And go ahead, kick up and back. Kick up and back. Drop the right hip. Extend your left hand forward. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And then gently release the foot far back behind. Step your left foot forward. Place your right hand below your shoulder. And just with your left big fingers, grab a hold of your big toe. Okay? Now, okay, so place the left foot on the floor, back behind you, right leg out. You can lift like this, or you can get into that figure 4 like you did on the other side. This is just the side we missed. I missed. Okay, and then put your right foot on the ground and step your left foot forward. Turn your front toes at like an angle, 45 degrees or so. Your back knee can touch down on the ground. Just take a few moments to sort of rock in the hips. And then lift up your back knee off the ground. Pull your heart forward. Try to get a little lighter on your fingers, or completely off your hands and onto your elbows. And then dive in. Maybe you're diving into a very uncomfortable zone in your body. Maybe you're really comfortable here. If you're in discomfort, know that that's really the place you gotta go for any kind of transformation. Internally, externally, this is where we transform. And where we learn how to breathe. And we learn that our breath is our ally, our tool, our teacher. Stay for 3. Keep your back knee off the ground. 2. And 1. Drop your back knee. Straighten out your front leg by bringing your toes in front of you. And this is a great time to work on a split. If you are quite flexible, you go into the full split. Half split is just keeping your hips over your right knee. And then if you just want to get into a bit of a different stretch, take both your hands and move them off to the left side of your leg. You can activate your left toes, lift them. Change the position of your head. You can do this in full split too if you're that flexible. Okay, and then to the middle, looking straight forward, you want to bend your front knee and your back leg. You come into a warrior 2 with your legs. Coming all the way up with your arms, warrior 2. Relax your shoulders. Heel and toe the back foot in once and straighten out your front leg. Then reach past the left finger or toes straight out in front of you and drop your hand down. So it might rest on your ankle, your shin, or even the floor. Extend your right arm up. Now there's a lot of action happening in your torso, so dial your heart to lift up. If you want to get really light on the bottom left hand, lift it straight up, even past the front of your mat. Otherwise, stay with your hand down. No hyperextending of this left leg. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And then look down. Right hand down, left hand down, and step back. Left leg is going to rest on top of your right leg as you come into the chaturanga. An upward facing dog looking up, and a downward facing dog to release your head fully. Take a full breath in. Exhale, knees bent, look forward, hop. Or step forward, take an inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. And then fold. Rise up all the way. And your hands meet at your heart center for Samasthiti. With your hands at your heart, you put some weight into the right foot, the left leg forward, and the left leg back. When the left leg comes forward, you're standing up tall. And when the leg goes back, you are spine level to the floor. And just work on keeping your hips fairly centered as you do this. Pendulum. Lots of integrity in your arms, the palms of your hands pressed together, keeping your chest alive. Your heart with you in your practice, forward and back. Maybe you need to bend your right knee a little bit too. It's totally fine. We'll go one more cycle. The leg goes back, and then bend your knee. Lift your chest up. Right hand's going to grab a hold of your foot. The left hand is going to go up. I like to take a mudra with my fingers, index finger, thumb touch, and then start to kick your foot up and back, reaching your arm out in front of you. You want to avoid your knee opening out to the side too much. Stay centered, using your breath. And then letting the heel come close to your hip so that you can change. And as you hold the left foot, make sure that the left hand is on the inside of your foot. Reach up and then start to kick up and back. Breathing. Reaching your hand forward, out in front of you. Breathe. Stay for 3, for 2, and 1. Without releasing too quickly, you're going to extend the foot back behind you to the ground. What did I do? Oh yeah, so hands come to the floor and the right foot turns out to a 45 degree. You can drop your left knee to the floor for a moment and just work on opening that right hip, so just letting your knee open up. And then lift your back knee off the ground. And just moving into your breath. Lighter on your fingers, Drawing your navel to your spine every time you exhale, possibly even going down to your elbows. Release any tension in your fingers or in your jaw. And breathe. You are strong. You have stamina. You are resilient. Stay here for 3, for 2, and 1. Back knee touches, hips move back, and the right foot straightens out in front of you. This half split where left hip stays over knee, or you go in full split and your hands move off to the right. A nice deep stretch here. Deepening into it as you wish for these final breaths. And then press the right foot down as you take your back foot in. And you're preparing for that warrior 2 stance as you come all the way up, arms reach out. And then just one time, heel and toe in for your back leg. Straighten your right leg. Reach forward, far beyond, and then tip down so that the hand lands on your foot, shin, or floor. And look up. So you are very engaged on your whole left side. It's what's holding you up here. And your right leg is like active. So there's no hyperextension of this leg. If you were in class, I'd come around and try and make sure there was no locked knees. And then with your right hand, you can extend it forward also if you wish. Relax your face. In yoga, we just pretend like we're doing nothing. Our faces are so light. Ease and grace in all of our movement. Maybe you look up. Stay for 3. Breathe for 2. And for 1, looking down. Left hand touches right hand. And right leg over top of left leg as you lower halfway. Chaturanga. An upward facing dog. So you can lift your left knee off the ground. And a downward facing dog. Okay, separate your feet really quite wide on your mat. Walk your hands back to your feet. And lower yourself down into a squat. All right, so you can just stay in a squat if you feel like that's what your body needs. Like, personally, I just need to stay in a squat. But if you're like, oh yeah, I want to build some fire, I want to get like stronger, then go into crow. Get your knees on your arms and lift your toes. That's not what we all need, though. So just do what your body needs. Not what your mind tells you. What does your body need? Press into the outer edges of your feet if you're in a squat. And if you're in crow, commit. Stay there for 5, for 4, 2, and 1. Crawl yourself forward and onto your belly. Okay, so on your belly, bend up your knees and reach your fingertips back behind you so that they're reaching back. Shoulder blades tucked into your back hip pockets. On your inhale, you're going to lift up your chest and try and lift your knees off the ground. Yeah, you know what? Let's play with like one leg at a time, and then we'll do both legs. So left leg straight, toes touch, lift your right leg, and then change. Lift your left leg. Without turning too much on the hips. Okay, next time that your left knee bends and you lift it, bring your foot in closer. Actually, just bend your left knee. Come up onto your elbows and just assess. Maybe you just stay here. Next step is right hand's going to reach for your left foot. Then you can start kicking your foot up. The next step is your right ankle will go underneath of your left knee. You can straighten your left arm if you want. Lift it up. And then just gently release that out. Find a neutral position for a breath or two. And then coming up, so you're going to bring your right knee forward in pigeon. So pigeon that you can feel secure by lifting your back knee off the ground. Your arms could lift. Just find some security, and if you feel like you keep tipping, put your right knee further to the right. So we're just going to come up for a moment with a straight back leg. And then drop your back knee and reach for your foot. Now, if it's possible to have both of your hands, like your fingers interlocked, wrap it around your back foot. Otherwise, just use one hand if two hands doesn't work. Work on bringing your chest upright. And then just a very gentle release of that. You're going to sit on your right hip and bring your left leg out. Turn to your left foot. And then just gently moving till your hands go underneath your foot. Your forehead can drop and you can just settle into some nice long breaths here. Just 2 more breaths. And then coming up, placing both your feet down wide, making your way first into a squat. Outer edges of your feet pressed down. And then taking your knees to the floor, tuck your toes under, lean back to your feet. Place your hands on the bottom of your feet and then your hips press forward into camel. Your head can drop back. a neutral position for a moment, letting your hips come back to your heels and your knees be wide so that you can come into a child's pose. From your child's pose, you're just going to find Sphinx arms and step it back into plank. Sphinx arms, elbow plank. Puff up your upper back, straighten out your legs. Engage your body. Look between your thumbs as you do this. Make your legs really strong. And breathe. All right, stay here for 5, for 4, 3, for 2, 1, going down. All right, bend up your right leg. And then reaching back with your left hand for your foot, your ankle. And then kick your foot up. It's possible that the right elbow lifts away from the floor. Two more breaths here. A gentle release of that. And then just pressing back, you're just going to bring your left knee forward. So setting yourself up for pigeon legs, knee a little to the left if you need it. And your back knee off the ground so that you can be reaching your arms up to the sky. Then drop your back knee and lift your foot. You can start off like this. And then just working to, if it's possible, interlock your fingers behind your foot. Nice shoulder opener. Just 2 more solid breaths here. And then gently release that foot. Sit on your left hip and bring your right foot off to the side. Reach up, and as you exhale, hinge past your foot. If you can get a hold of that foot, just level your shoulders. If you can't hold the foot, just hold your leg. You want to settle into this. And then come up to sit upright. All right, bend at your knees. Just let your knees, so your feet are really wide. They're right to the edges of your mat. And just let your knees fall to the right and to the left. Right and to the left. When the knees fall to the right, just stay like that. And then you can lay further back onto your elbows. All right, and then you can have a look at your left knee, and you want to like almost draw a line away from your hip. And if you can lay all the way back, getting into that. Letting your right arm hold your head, just sort of rest in your head. And you really want to think of your left knee pressing away from you, away, down to the floor if it's possible. And then just sort of scoot yourself back into a center point to come back up, lifting your knees and dropping them to the other side. So great place to start, sitting up. You can stay like this the whole time. We're dropping back. And then once you're back, you sort of inch yourself over to the right. Keeping the right knee pressing down. It's just really opening up that right side. Just a little wheel prep. Just a couple more relaxing breaths. All right. And then just inch yourself over to the left. If you're not on your back, you can make your way there. And just find a neutral position for your spine. So your hips are in the middle. You have a space in your low back. Shoulders sort of like flatten the blades to the ground. A neutral position. Okay, so let's just start off by pulling your right knee into your chest. Just a little stretch there. Change it up. Right foot goes down, left knee pulls in. And then drop your left foot on the ground. Bring your heels in pretty close to your hips. You can touch your heels with your fingers. Feet are wide, but pointing their toes like directly away from the hips. Lift your hips up. And this is a little bridge where you can interlock your fingers and just sort of creep your shoulders away from your ears. Another opportunity to open your chest a little more. Just 2 more breaths. And then releasing it down. Neutral position, just don't do anything, but keep your knees up, feet planted, and your breath happening. Okay. A wheel, so you can place your hands in that position, so backward somersaults. And then lifting into wheel. Stay here as long as you wish. Some of you might be able to stand up from wheel or go into a handstand. Try that out. So in your own time, you can come down on your mat. Neutral. I really like to feel that area. It's like the solar plexus area, your power center. To me, it just gets like so ignited after deep back bends. All right, let's do that one more time. So if wheel's not in your practice, you most likely know just just going into bridge for the final one. Or if your wrists don't really feel like doing a wheel, that's the way to go. Play in your bridge. Otherwise, you got it. Go right up into your wheel. And feel the pose fully. Two more breaths. When you're ready, come down. Neutral position. Feel your body recalibrate. All right. Relax your left leg down and bring your right knee in. Just pull your knee in, interlocking your fingers. Let the knee go across your body to the left. This is a supine twist here, so if you feel inclined to bend up your bottom left leg, you can do that. Extend your right arm out. Nice stretch. This is where you unravel and prepare for some stillness and relaxation. And then change over to the other side. Just the same as you did the first side. Long enough to just like really drop in to your body, which is key. Like really, a yoga practice is time creating space in your body, creating certainly there's strength building, but really we're supporting ourselves and we're having the time to listen to what our body needs, because we need our bodies to be of optimal health right now. Physically, mentally, spiritually. And this is where our practices really matter. So, taking the time to drop in daily if you can. So if you feel that you require any other movements, like an inversion or any more stretches, go for it. Otherwise, I would say get into Shavasana. A Shavasana where you can just rest. So some of you may be in deepening stretches or full rest. And just remember to give your body the time to rest. It was a pleasure to lead you on this platform. Thanks so much for being here. Namaste.